Human engineers, weak grip crushes alien challengers. Hand Maya Chin sat quietly in the back corner of the Galactic Engineering Academy's main lecture hall, her small human frame barely visible among the towering alien students. The massive space station Nexus 7 housed the galaxy's most prestigious technical university, where species from across the known systems came to study advanced engineering and technology. Maya was one of only 3 humans in the entire academy, part of Earth's new cultural exchange program. The young woman kept her head down, sketching mechanical diagrams in her notebook, while Professor Velik droned on about quantum field generators. Around her, the other students whispered and pointed, their various appendages gesturing in her direction. She caught fragments of their conversations in Universal Standard. "Look how tiny she is," chittered a Zenthari student, his insectoid features clicking with amusement. "Humans are supposed to be from some dangerous world, but she looks like she'd break if you touched her." Thrax, a massive Carillion warrior student with thick, chitinous plates covering his muscular frame, turned his 4 eyes toward Maya. His species was known throughout the galaxy for their physical prowess and military might. Standing nearly 8 feet tall, with arms like tree trunks, he dominated most rooms he entered. "Death World survivors," he scoffed, his voice carrying across several rows. "That human couldn't survive a gentle breeze on my homeworld. Look at those stick-thin arms. I bet she can't even lift her own study materials." Maya's pencil paused mid-stroke. She'd been through this before at other schools, other stations. The assumptions were always the same. Humans looked weak compared to most galactic species, and their relatively peaceful appearance often led to dangerous misunderstandings. "Maybe we should test that theory," Thrax continued, standing up to his full, imposing height. "Hey, little Earth girl, care to prove your species isn't as pathetic as you look?" The lecture hall fell silent. Professor Velik, a wise, old Zentorian with flowing tentacles for arms, paused his presentation. His large, ancient eyes shifted between Thrax and Maya, recognizing the brewing conflict. Maya finally looked up, her brown eyes meeting Thrax's dominant gaze. "I really don't think that's a good idea," she said quietly, her voice barely carrying in the large space. "Of course you don't." Thrax laughed, a sound like grinding metal. "Because you know you're weak. Your entire species is weak. That's why you need all those machines and tools to survive. Without your technology, you're nothing." The other students began gathering around, sensing entertainment. Maya felt her heart rate increase, not from fear, but from concern. She'd been through the cultural sensitivity training. She knew what could happen when humans forgot to hold back. "Please," she tried again, "I don't want to hurt anyone. Can't we just get back to the lecture?" This response only emboldened Thrax further. "Hurt anyone? You?" He extended one of his massive hands, each finger thick as a human wrist. "I challenge you to a simple handshake competition. If you can match even half my grip strength, I'll apologize to your entire species. When you fail, you admit humans don't belong in this academy." Maya stood up slowly, her modest height making her look even smaller next to the towering alien. "I really don't want to do this," she said, genuine worry creeping into her voice. "Because you're scared," Thrax declared triumphantly. "Scared and weak, just like I said." Professor Velik started to intervene, but Maya held up a hand. "Fine," she said with a sigh, "but just a handshake. Nothing more." The crowd pressed closer as Maya walked toward Thrax. She rolled up her sleeves, revealing arms that, while slender by human standards, were corded with lean muscle. Earth's higher gravity and dangerous environment had shaped every human for survival, though other species rarely understood this. "This is your last chance to back down," Thrax sneered, extending his hand. "I don't want to embarrass you too badly." Maya reached out with her own hand, looking almost comically small next to his. "I'm sorry in advance," she murmured, more to herself than to him. Their hands met, and Thrax immediately began applying pressure. His grip was formidable enough to crush most materials, but Maya's expression didn't change. She looked up at him sadly. "Is that all you've got?" Thrax taunted, increasing his grip to what he considered maximum safe pressure. Maya took a deep breath. I really wish you hadn't done this, she said, and gently squeezed back. The change was immediate and shocking. Thrax's confident expression transformed into one of surprise, then concern, then outright panic. The chitinous plates on his hand began to crack with audible pops. His four eyes widened in disbelief as he realized he couldn't pull away. The gathered students stared in stunned silence as the medical team arrived. Thrax, still in shock, looked up at the small human who had just crushed his hand without even standing up straight. Professor Velik moved between them, his tentacles flowing with calm authority. "Students, please return to your seats. This is exactly why we have mandatory courses on interspecies physiology." As the medics treated Thrax's injuries, the professor addressed the class. "What you just witnessed is a perfect example of why we must never make assumptions about other species. Humans evolved on what we classify as a Class 12 death world, where atmospheric pressure is 40% higher than standard, gravity is significantly increased, and the native life forms include predators that hunt in coordinated packs." Maya slumped back into her seat, already pulling out her tablet to file another incident report. This was the fourth one this semester. Miss Chen's restraint just now likely saved Thrax's life. Professor Velik continued. What she considered a gentle squeeze would have completely crushed his hand if applied with even modest human strength. Their muscular density and bone structure are evolved for survival in conditions that would kill most of us within minutes. From his position on the medical stretcher, Thrax looked over at Maya with newfound respect and perhaps a touch of fear. I apologize," he managed to say. "I didn't understand." Maya nodded sadly. "It's okay. Nobody ever does. That's why I tried to warn you." As the medical team wheeled Thrax away, the other students gave Maya a much wider berth. The lecture resumed, but the atmosphere had changed completely. The small human in the back corner was no longer seen as weak or out of place. Professor Velik made a mental note to recommend Maya for the new interspecies relations program. Clearly, the galaxy needed more humans who understood both their own strength and the importance of restraint. Maya, meanwhile, just wanted to finish her engineering degree and get back to building bridges between worlds instead of accidentally breaking aliens.